I'm kind of picking up where we left off to catch
Would it
up.
be fair to say the kicks to the head?
This is the
Would it be fair to say the
TBI
punches? People
investigator.
with arms?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say the kicks on the ground?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say what was not told to medical personnel?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you still want to investigate that after you found, like, how many grams did you say? Was it 1 point?
This is Hagerman talking to the TBI about the credit cards and all that type of stuff that they found.
Did you still want to investigate that after you found 1.77 grams of mushroom material in his car?
Specifically in the trunk, somehow.
In the trunk.
Right.
So you find 1.77 grams of mushrooms here in the trunk, and y'all say, hey, he had some mushrooms in his car, let's forget this whole thing.
That's not how we operate.
Is that how anybody operates?
Not to my knowledge.
When y'all found some gift cards, and debit cards, and credit card, and a school ID or whatever in his car, at that point, did you say, let's just not investigate this?
No, sir, because honestly, the cards that we just saw, to me, look like gift cards. I don't know whose those are. I assume they were his. The ID, I don't know if it's stolen. I don't know if it was a friend that was left in the car. But to me, it had no direct bearing on what I was asked to investigate.
Yeah, and let's assume they are stolen. It does say there's some stolen cars in this car. Let's say that.
Say everything in that car was stolen.
Now, what is that? That's not why they beat him to death.
No bearing on the seriousness of the case I was asked to investigate.
Right.
I was not asked to investigate stolen credit cards or contents of the vehicle.
Because you have a little bit of mushroom material in your car, what happens next to you is still a crime, right?
Yes, sir.
It don't change nothing.
Cards, gift cards, your credit cards, whatever you want to assume they are in your car, what happens next to you is still a crime, right?
Correct.
And if I'm right, y'all, they didn't even know about it?
No, sir.
Ain't know nothing about it.
We are known as an independent agency. We are totally independent. We don't answer to anybody based on except for this attorney.
So they turn over videos.
Correct.
Your agents review the various videos, is that correct?
Numerous videos.
And was there one video in particular that got everybody's attention immediately?
Yes.
And what video is that?
That was the video that actually saw the major incident. The reason why we're here, basically.
Pretty deep in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Pretty rare to get.
From my understanding, it was almost kind of accidental to get that video.
Once you saw that video, were you still interested in investigating? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Can you rephrase that?
When you saw the video, did you believe there was criminal conduct that needed further investigation?
Oh, yes.
On behalf of
Well, the officers that needed, from my view of what happened in that video, we need to further investigate.
The officers, not the credit
what you
cards
saw?
or gift cards.
And would it be fair to say the kicks to the head?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say the punches? People with the arms?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say the kicks on the ground?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say what was not told to medical personnel?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you still want to investigate that after you found, like, how many grams did you say? Was it 1 point? .77 grams of mushroom material. Did you still want to investigate that after you found 1.77 grams of mushroom material in his car?
Specifically in the trunk, somehow.
In the trunk.
Right.
So you find 1.77 grams of mushrooms here in the trunk, and y'all say, hey, he had some mushrooms in his car. Let's forget this whole thing.
That's not how we operate,
Is that how anybody operates?
not to my knowledge.
When y'all found some gift cards and debit cards and credit card and a school ID or whatever in his car, at that point, did you say, let's just not investigate this?
No, sir, because honestly, the cards that actually we just saw, to me, look like gift cards. I don't know whose those are, I assume they were his. The ID, I don't know if it's stolen, I don't know if it was a friend that was left in the car, but to me, it had no direct bearing on what I was asked to investigate.
Yeah, and let's assume they are stolen. Let's say there's some stolen cars in this car. Let's say that.
Say they would say everything in that car was stolen. It still has, to me, no bearing on the seriousness of the case I was asked to investigate. I was not asked to investigate stolen credit cards or contents of the vehicle.
Because you have a little bit of mushroom material in your car, what happens next to you is still crime, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you have some cards, gift cards, or credit cards, whatever you want to assume they are in your car, what happens next to you is still crime, right?
Correct.
And if I'm right, y'all found this, obviously, after all this happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
These police officers here on trial and the other, they hadn't found it.
No, sir.
They didn't even know about it.
No, sir.
Not at all.
So is it fair to say that what happened on that poll cam, a surprise, coincidence, or what, of catching it, has something to do with mushroom material in the car in the car, or anything else he's also didn't even know about?
No, sir.
So you just keep investigating.
No, sir.
Do you, I can't pronounce it either. Okay? Psilocybin or I can't pronounce it either. But you know it's mushrooms,
Correct.
copper.
Psychedelic.
Yeah, it's like a recreational drug that people take and they use. So
Objection, Your Honor, he's testifying. We've gone far afield when it comes to leading. Objection, leading, he's testifying.
is it some type of recreational hallucinogen, something like that?
Oh, yes.
And let me pass you this picture here. What's that there? Is that just some sort of burnt material or something? Is that the mushroom that we're talking about?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because it's just hard to say.
Right.
Because 1.7 grams is how much or something?
I mean, I think $1 bill weighs a gram. So $1.
For you, have you had occasion to arrest people for having mushrooms before?
It's been years, but the last time was because the person had a gigantic zip bag.
Oh, big huge bag.
Huge bag. Yeah, but I've never arrested anybody for a mushroom or anything like that.
Something like you sell.
Oh, yeah, there was definitely, it was a distribution ring.
The guy with the gigantic bag of all those mushrooms. If he had superhuman
Why did they even bring that up? That's crazy.
Your experience, have you ever found mushroom use associated with superhuman strength?
From my experience, no.
It's a psychedelic.
Correct.
You ever found marijuana associated with superhuman strength?
Yeah, I'm not going to predict as well. He's not qualified as per name. He can testify to his experience.
But he's not an analysis, he's not been identified. This person has any sort of pharmacologist. He doesn't have any sort of testimony or any sort of credentials that we can rely
Well,
on.
don't bring it up if y'all don't want nobody to cross-examine them about it.
He's not testifying, he's not testifying as an expert.
I'll withdraw that and lay it out there. Have you arrested people with marijuana before?
Yes, sir.
Move them at the top.
Yes, sir.
You arrested people under the influence of marijuana before?
Yes, sir.
Have you found those people that have superhuman strength?
Not Not one time, very peaceful.
Yeah. They want to make it seem like he was on drugs. No, stop that. Stop that.
That's all the questions.
Agent Baker, Mr. Heiderman went through a series of scenarios with you. Oh, we found this small mushroom. Stop investigating this death. No one suggested you to shift your sights over to TYRE Nichols and away from the death. Right? No one suggested that. Okay, so those questions about, gee, you should have stopped what you were doing, but the police officers didn't go look at TYRE Nichols. No
Sir,
one
you
suggested
brought that
you
mess up, so stop it.
You gotta rephrase it, okay?
I didn't phrase the question, sir. It was a ludicrous question. No one asked you to stop investigating TYRE Nichols, and no one told you to stop investigating the police officers when you found these things. My question to you is, in conducting an investigation, it's a very broad investigation to determine what was going on when this incident happened, right?
Correct.
There was allegations of resisting arrest, right?
Correct.
So you have to look into why this, you called him a victim, why the victim was involved with the police that night anyway, right?
Correct.
And one of those very reasonable conclusions would be that the victim, as you call him, had evidence of crime in his car and was attempting to get away from that car. Isn't that a fair assumption?
It could be, or
And if you were investigating it, you would pick up the phone and you'd call someone named Kelly Rogers or Pena Garcia or Jordan Riley and say, can you explain to us, sir, how your IDs and credit cards ended up in this car? If you were investigating.
yeah, but I wouldn't investigate that.
That's right. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, he wasn't investigating that.
I've noticed when this side of the table asks you questions,
You want to object to this question already in your approach?
Ooh, they petty. Ooh, they petty. Y'all want him to have a certain look on his face. Well, I noticed how you look. Oh my God. So you gonna tell a witness how to have facial expressions? These people are crazy. They guilty, guilty, guilty. Oh my goodness. That's being attorney. Mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness. You mean Christopher McMillan didn't mention anything about Case and Allison yesterday? Let me check why I'm over here.
but at some point you became the lead case agent on behalf of the TBI. Right?
Yes, sir.
This is your case, right? And are you giving the impression that all of the arrests, now I'm going back before your TBI agent, all of your arrests have been pretty much thorough, just like what was being suggested a few moments ago? In other words, when you used to arrest people, all of those situations
Excuse me.
were the type of arrest that you say, sir, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
No, not.
and you never had any difficulty arresting anybody that just didn't want to be arrested while you were a particular police officer through the years that you were in law enforcement.
I had many difficulties.
Do you have cracked
Oh.
or uneven concrete? The experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair can fix those
Please get
cracks
the-
and lift up.
The lights up. Oh. Oh, what done happened?
All but 5.
Okay. And so all but those 5 years, did you ever work at OCU?
I was never working at MPD.
And so did you ever do any sort of work in what would be considered vice, for instance?
No, well, if you count drug work, work fugitive, but
In your work as a just regular uniform officer, as a uniform officer, sometimes the arrest work is a little bit easier than if you're in a capacity as a vice officer or an OCU officer or in some of the other capacities you might serve in. Is that true?
I don't think I can answer that way. I don't think anything's easier. I think each arrest is always different.
Okay. All right. January 7th, 2023. Were you out there arresting a man that had these credit cards, debit cards in his car? Were you out there trying to?
Is he on trial?
Driven 2 miles away from blue lights when they first came on.
No.
Were you out there trying to arrest a person that had run from 3 different locations?
No.
Were you out there trying to arrest a person, and I don't care if he had a little bit of dope or a little bit of mushrooms or a little bit of this, a little bit of that? You don't know anything about TYRE NICHOLS, correct?
Nothing.
You don't know anything about his strength, right? You don't know if it's superhuman or subhuman, right?
No idea.
And out there on that particular night, you could not place yourself in the position of either TYRE being or anybody sitting here on trial.
Absolutely not.
So your testimony regarding superhuman strength and all that stuff, that is what he's asking you. What we're asking you about is your conduct in this particular investigation and what your file has. You did not investigate Mr. Nichols as it relates to why he would have been motivated to run, right? You didn't investigate Mr. Nichols regarding why he did not want bracelets put on him. And you don't know anything about his strength, about how much he resisted any of that, right?
Well, I mean, I can see on the video how he resisted.
He was actively resisting in the video.
But I can't.
No, that's
Let me
okay.
finish. Let me finish.
Can I ask a question? Make sure you give him the opportunity to answer the question.
Yes, sir.
He's extremely aggressive.
Ask the question, let him have the opportunity to answer.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You just said he was actively resisting, correct? From the video that you watched.
Correct.
All right. And you weren't out there to know how difficult it would have been to get him to stop actively resisting.
Absolutely not.
That's all.
Yep.
You were given a completion answer and you didn't get to. You were asked about his resistance in the video.
You know, I'm not there. I can't put myself in those officers' shoes. I mean, I think you're trying to get that. You want to put yourself in the officer's shoes. You know, I want to know what they did, what they saw, but based on the investigation, this is what I saw. But I can't tell you Mr. Nichols' strength. I can't tell you anything about his past because I don't know. And that's what I want you to know, or the jury to know, that I have no idea about Mr. Nichols' history. I was asked to work a case involving the death of Mr. Nichols. And what was the reason behind it? Who possibly caused it? Turn over that information to the district attorney and let them decide how to move forward.
And what you turned over included that whole cam footage
Yes,
that you consider crucial.
absolutely.
Anything else on this witness?
Thank you. Your Honor. Okay.
Oh, wow. That was intense, huh?
Your Honor, at this time, we will call Preston Hemphill to the stand.
Ordering that witness, is there anybody that needs a break? All right, we need to take a brief recess.
Want to say the reset?
Let's move it forward. Let me see. Oh, they can laugh now. They can laugh now. Hey, Cynthia. Let me fast forward. Oh, that's that guy. Oh, okay. Is he the paramedic guy who? Let's listen.
Call Preston Hemphill to the stand, Your Honor.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that lost their job, right?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Would you state and spell your first and last name for the court reporter, please?
Yes, sir. First name is Preston, R-E-S-T-O-N. Last name is H-E-M-P-H-I-L-L.
And Mr. Hemphill, is your appearance to testify here today pursuant to a subpoena certain time?
Yes, sir.
January 7, 2023. Where were you employed?
I was employed with the Memphis Police Department.
And what was your job that day?
I was with the Scorpion 1 team.
And what was the Scorpion team's purpose back then?
The purpose for the Scorpion team was to go to high crime areas and look for anything.
And how did it go about? How did officers of the Scorpion 1 team go about that at that time?
We would go into areas, either see people like ordering at gas stations or see here at the time. Cars with reason to pull them over, and go from there.
What do you mean by reason to pull a car over?
Tags expired after so long, or not using, or a brake light burnt out, or not even turning your headlights on.
Traffic violation?
Yes, sir.
And what was your duty that day?
It was a pair of black uniform pants, a black t-shirt that said police on the front, and my external vest that said Memphis Police across the chest, and my body cam.
And did you carry any weapons as part of your duty?
Yes, sir.
What weapons did you carry?
I had
Oh, Lord.
my duty issued pistol, pepper spray, and asthma.
And were you required, as part of your employment, as a police officer, to carry those weapons?
Yes, sir.
That included your duty service revolver, correct?
Pistol, yes, sir.
What was your shift that night?
I believe it was 6 o'clock at night till 2 in the morning.
And stop occurring?
Can you elaborate?
Let's start. How did you become involved in making a traffic stop of that kind?
Myself, Haley, and Martin were all single file traveling down Riverdale. Martin said he saw a car speeding. Martin attempted to pull the vehicle over. The vehicle refused to stop, and we found the vehicle at Cross the Range.
Were you in radio communication with other Scorpion officers?
Yes, sir.
And you used the names Martin and Haley. You will call first names.
I don't recall the first name.
Is it Demetrius Haley
Yes, sir.
and Emmett Martin?
Yes, sir.
And they were also members of Scorpion T1 at the time.
Yes, sir.
Who initiated the attempt to stop the blue Nissan Sentra?
Officer Martin.
And were you in the same location when he radioed that he was going to stop the stop?
Yes, sir.
And who else?
Hey, Grateful.
Officer Haley.
So 3 members of Scorpion T1 in the same general area, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how did Martin attempt to stop the vehicle?
He turned on his blue lights, he activated his sirens when he did a traffic stop, and at that time, he keyed up on the radio saying the vehicle was fleeing.
Okay. And are you familiar with the phrase getting little?
Yes, sir.
What does that phrase mean in police talk?
He's running from the police.
Did Martin use that phrase on the road?
I don't recall.
Where were you when you first saw this blue Nissan Sentra?
We were southbound on Riverdale, coming out from under 385.
And is that where you were when you first saw the blue Nissan Sentra?
Yes, sir.
And is that where you saw Martin activate his blue lights?
No, sir.
Where did you see Martin activate his blue lights?
He activated his blue lights right after we went through Winchester. We were still on Riverdale.
Okay. Southbound down Riverdale, correct?
Yes, sir.
You recall the speed limit on Riverdale?
I believe it's 45.
Did you observe the blue Nissan Sentra commit any traffic violations
At which time?
Anytime.
on Riverdale?
After Martin lit him up, yes, sir.
What
After.
traffic violations did you observe the blue Nissan Sentra commit on Riverdale?
Changed lanes twice without a blinker and fleeing from the police.
Were those traffic violations, to your understanding, a legal reason to pull over the blue Nissan Sentra?
Yes, sir.
But he had already put the lights on him.
Following the blue Nissan Sentra.
Yes, sir.
Who else continued following it?
Myself, Officer Haley, and Officer Martin.
And where did the pursuit continue?
We were traveling south on Riverdale. They turned right to travel west on Ross, and it rained on Ross. They were traveling west on Rains, and they came to a stop at Rains and Ross.
Were you able to observe the Sentra the entire time you were following it down Riverdale and Rains?
No, sir.
Why not?
Officer Haley and Martin passed me, and I was in the back.
How fast, you said it was 45 on Riverdale, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's the speed limit on that section of Rains?
I believe it's 45 as well.
Okay. And
You fell behind
Yes, sir.
the Central, Haley and Martin,
Yes, sir.
and how fast did you get up to on ramps?
I don't remember.
Do you remember exceeding the speed limit trying to catch up?
Yes, sir.
Did the blue Nissan Sentra's actions on Riverdale increase the risk of the traffic stop?
Yes, sir.
Why
Oh,
and how?
wow.
Reckless driving, getting away from the police, and just fleeing from the police increases the risk of the traffic stop.
Tell the jury a little bit about your training about the risk of traffic stops, categories of risk.
So we had roughly two categories. We had the normal, at that time, extent traffic stop where, someone pulls over, possibly getting a ticket, after he fled from us. Myself and Haley tried to chase after him. High-risk traffic stop. During that, I also didn't have my glasses. Once Haley was coming to the pepper spray, I was feeling the pepper spray again. At that time, we quit the chase, so I put it out on the radio, the descriptions, and what the rest.
What's the other type called?
I don't remember the specific name, but I would just say it's a normal, low-risk, run-of-the-mill traffic stop.
Okay. Before you pull a car over, how do you determine whether it's run-of-the-mill low risk or high risk?
Just 50 cents after you've been an officer for a little bit. If the person's moving around a lot inside the car, if you can't see inside the windows, just little things for you to, kind of pay attention to this.
And some of those things you saw on Riverdale, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that included fleeing and not pulling over.
Yes, sir.
Continued, you described it as reckless driving,
Yes, sir.
and those switching lanes without.
Switching and speeding, yes, sir.
What happened when you got to Ross and Rains?
When I got to Ross and Rains, Haley and Martin were already next to the Nissan.
Where was the Nissan?
It was in the left turn lane at Rains and Ross. Facing westbound, trying to turn left on Ross.
Left or southbound by the Ross?
Yes, sir.
What color was the what?
I don't remember.
Who was on the left?
Haley,
Who was on the passenger side?
Martin,
And where were you?
and I pulled up behind him.
Did, at the point that you arrived, was there anything else that elevated the risk of this traffic stop from your perspective?
Fleeing from the police, and I couldn't see inside the vehicle because of the tinted windows.
Which windows were tinted?
If I recall, it was the back window.
And you were approaching from the back,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Was it normal after fleeing and refusing to pull over, to stop?
No, sir.
Did that concern you at the time?
Yes, sir.
And was that a factor in the risk of the traffic stop?
Yes, sir.
What did it do to the risk?
It lets us know that, hey, he's already run before, but why is he stopping? What are we fixing to get into next?
Had that ever happened to you before?
No, sir.
At the time, how long had you been a police officer?
At that time, I was a police officer for about 3 years.
And how long had you been on the school?
About 3 months.
And how often, if you can estimate, had you pulled over cars?
Probably every day.
Ever worked that
Yes, sir.
for 3 years?
Yes, sir.
And this was the first time the car had fled and then stopped.
Yes, sir.
Describe
high-risk traffic stop, and since he stopped, like, what's fixing to happen, once I saw Haley and Martin getting into the car is when I put my pistol up and ran up to the car.
Who approached the driver's side?
Haley.
And what was he saying?
I don't remember.
Was he demanding that the driver get out of the car?
I don't remember what he was saying.
What do I don't remember mean?
Did y'all get the driver out of the car?
Yes, sir.
Who did?
Haley got him out of the car.
How? Describe how he got him out of the car.
If I recall, he opened up the driver's door and pulled Mr. Nichols out of the door.
Okay. You're familiar with the Memphis Police Department force continuum, correct?
Yes, sir.
And one of those levels is empty hands control, correct?
Yes, sir.
Two categories, assault and harm.
Yes, sir.
Empty hands means no weapon in your hands, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was Demetrius Haley using empty hands control to get Mr. Nichols out of the car? The
Yes,
driver
sir.
out of the car?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who the driver of that car was at that point?
No, sir.
Until you got there, did you know how many occupants were in the car?
No, sir.
Did you ultimately learn that the driver of that car was TYRE Nichols?
Yes, sir.
Your knowledge, did either Martin or Haley know who the driver of that car was at that time of the stop on Ross Run?
No, sir. Not to my knowledge.
What happened when Haley got the driver out of the car?
He tried to get handcuffs on him behind his back. At that time, he was struggling with us, and
Who was he?
Mr. Nichols.
Where was Haley initially trying to get the cuffs on?
He was pushing Mr. Nichols against the A-pillar between the door of the car and the car itself, trying to turn him around so he can get his hands behind his back.
And what did the driver choose to do at that time?
He refused to put his hands behind his back and managed to turn around and be facing toward Haley.
And how close were you at that time?
Maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet.
And how close was Martin at that time?
I don't recall.
What, during that time when the driver spun around in the A-frame, what did you hear Martin say?
I heard Martin scream, "Let go of my gun."
What did that statement by a fellow officer mean to you?
That someone's probably fixing to get hurt.
Explain why.
Because
Ooh,
if
this is
you bring a
way
gun
too
into
much.
this, it can go deadly.
Our officers trained in gun safety.
Yes, sir.
Is it a serious matter to keep control of your service weapons at all times?
Yes, sir.
Is it potential?
But they done already lied and
It's a
said
very
that
serious
that wasn't
situation.
true.
You lose
I
control.
mean, they done already admitted that they lied.
How did Martin's announcement change the risk at Ross and Raines at that time?
It increased the risk.
How much?
As high as it can go.
Okay. And what happened next?
At that time, I heard someone say, "Take him to the ground."
Do you recall who said that?
I believe it was Haley.
Always
And-
Haley.
We took Mr. Nichols to the ground. He was still resisting with us. I ended up pulling my taser out. I switched it on, but never had any electricity running through it. I put put it against his thigh and told him I was fixing to tase him. At that point, we had him under control for a split second. I went to go attempt to put my taser up. He broke free, and that's when Haley pepper sprayed me.
And what happened with the pepper spray?
It sprayed everybody.
Who is everybody?
Haley sprayed himself, Martin, myself, and Mr. Nichols.
Okay. And you said Mr. Nichols broke free, correct?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by broke free?
He managed to stand up. At that point, I went to go bear hug him and hold him at the scene. He broke free from me, and at that time I saw him running toward a squad car that was still running with the door open. That's when I fired my taser.
And what happened with taser shot?
It had no effect.
Do you know whether it made a good connection with the driver?
I know it did not make a good connection.
Did you know it at the time?
At that time, no, sir.
What happened next?
After he fled from us, myself and Haley tried to chase after him. During that, I also didn't have my glasses. Haley was succumbing to the pepper spray. I was feeling the pepper spray then. At that time, we quit the chase. I put it out on the radio, the description, and what direction the suspect ran. And I helped Haley back to his car.
Why didn't you have your glasses?
During the scuffle on the ground, they fell off.
And glasses pretty important to your vision.
Yes, sir.
How far did you run after the suspect?
Probably a block.
South on Ross?
Yes, sir.
How about Haley? How far did he run?
Probably about a block and a half. He was ahead of me.
Pretty obvious, but neither one of you caught him, correct?
Correct.
And that's the point when you stop that you contact dispatch on your radio, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said you put it out on the radio.
Yes, sir.
What exactly did you put out?
I put out on the radio that the taser was deployed, pepper spray was used, suspect was last seen running southbound on Ross, and clothing description.
General description,
Yes, sir.
and that he had fled from the stop.
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned that you had helped Haley.
Yes, sir.
Describe that to the jury.
So, after we weren't chasing anymore, and I put out the description, Haley was walking back toward me. He said that he couldn't see because of the pepper spray, and I had to escort him back to his car so that he could get his water bottle to attempt to flush out his eyes.
Tell the jury about the flushing out of the eyes.
So, with pepper spray, you just really try to get as most out of your eyes as you can, but even water doesn't really stop the pain. It just temporarily stops it.
Pepper spray that Scorpion officers carry is very strong, correct?
Yes, sir.
Stronger than you can buy at a sporting goods store, correct?
I don't know.
Okay. It's issued to you as part of your equipment, correct?
Yes, sir. It's issued to all MPD officers.
All MPD officers. And if it's used, you have to weigh the canister about how much it's used, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long were you, am I correct that you spent some time dumping water on Haley's face and eyes at his request?
Yes, sir.
He was literally trying to pry them open, correct?
Yes, sir.
Took a while for him to be able to open his eyes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall exactly how long?
No, sir.
Would 7.5 minutes surprise you?
Yes,
that would be too long or not long enough?
It seemed like it'd be too short to be.
Okay.
Huh? I mean, they are really
All
trying,
the
ain't they?
time that this is going on, you and Haley are at Rawson Ranks, correct?
Yes, sir.
His car's there,
Yes, sir.
your car's there,
Yes, sir.
both undercover Scorpion cars.
Yes, sir.
And this blue Nissan Sentra is there.
Yes, sir.
Martin had left, correct?
Yes, sir.
And while you're there, you've got some duties because you shot the taser, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what did you have to do?
I had to first attempt to find both the prongs that come out of the taser cartridge, and then after that I had to submit a memo saying why it was deployed. I had to get the serial number off of the cartridge and submit it all.
And you had to report and request fire department medical personnel, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you did that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during this time, y'all are at Rawson Ranks. You're helping Haley with the water, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're trying to find your glasses.
Yes, sir.
And you're
Lord and Hardy.
with the taser stuff.
Yes, sir.
One lost his glasses, one can't see.
Fire department.
Yes, sir.
Also listening to dispatch on the radio about this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
What did you learn over the next several minutes about the suspect?
They managed to locate him.
Who is that?
Mills, Bean, and Smith.
And do you recall where they located him?
At that time, I didn't know where they located him.
Okay. What happened when they located him, according to what you heard over the radio?
And there was still a scuffle going on.
And were both cars wounded?
Yes, sir.
At some point, did Haley leave Rawson Ranks?
Yes, sir.
What did y'all know from the radio at the time that he left Rawson Ranks?
That the cars that were over there were still struggling.
MPD training, respond when other officers need help, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your knowledge was Haley responding to the call for more cars.
Yes, sir.
That would be consistent with your training
Yes, sir.
and good policing at that time.
Yes, sir.
After Haley had left, did the fire department show up at Rawson Ranks?
Yes, sir.
And
All of this cost Emmett.
what type of personnel was it?
Cause Emmett was having a bad day.
2 firefighters.
Were they EMTs?
I don't recall.
Do you recall why they arrived at Rawson Ranks?
Yes, sir.
Why did they arrive there?
Because per policy, anytime an officer uses pepper spray or a taser, you have to call the fire department out.
And you had done that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you called them out to check out the suspect, correct?
Yes, sir.
And once they got there, what did you tell them?
I was keying up on the radio asking if the fire department needs to go to where they are or if they were going to bring the suspect back to where I was.
What ended up happening?
They told he, I believe it was Smith, keyed up on the radio saying you need to bring the fire department down to where we are.
Okay. What did the fire department know from you before you sent them down there?
That the suspect was at least pepper sprayed and tased.
did they learn from you that there had been a struggle
Yes, sir.
and that he had fled?
Yes, sir.
It's sad, y'all.
You stayed at Rawson Range with the car, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever go to Castlegate and Bear Creek?
No, sir.
Remember, he the one that said, I hope they beat his ass.
While you were at Rawson Range, listening to the radio, was there a description of what force was used on Mr. Nichols at the other location?
No, sir. Not that I recall.
I'm going to have a moment with my client, John.
Sad, sad.
Before the driver fled Rawson Range, was it a difficult struggle to try and control it?
Yes, sir.
3 officers, correct?
Yes, sir.
1 suspect, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was he able to get away from the 3 of y'all?
Yes, sir.
Difficult struggle,
Yes, sir.
and the 3 officers failed to detain him, correct?
Yes, sir.
When Martin said, "Let go my gun," that increased the risk because of the fear that the suspect was getting the gun, or trying to, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you relied on Martin's statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
And proper policing, proper training, following procedure was to rely on that statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had to assume it was true,
Yes, sir.
and did.
Yes, sir.
And the result was to take the suspect to the ground,
Yes, sir.
where he continued to not cooperate,
Yes, sir.
continued to avoid being handcuffed.
Yes, sir.
You had your taser on his thigh,
Yes, sir.
not electrified.
Right. Yes, sir.
Haley deployed pepper spray,
Yes, sir.
and the suspect was still able to get away.
Yes, sir.
Was the driver, to your knowledge, incapacitated by the pepper spray?
No, sir.
Did, as he was running towards the car, did the taser, I guess shot, you shoot the taser,
Yes, sir.
did that incapacitate him at all?
No, sir.
He got away from you and Haley running after him.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have for this week.
Your Honor, my examination will take a while. All right, just let you know. Just again. All right. from Zoom on, representing Justin Smith. I'm going to play for you. Somebody helps me connect to that screen up there. Huh?
Hey, Talmadge. Hey, hey. Afternoon. Mr. Hemphill, the prosecution and I have viewed this video, but I'm going to ask you to view this video. And I would offer to you that it is the path from 385 down Riverdale over to Range and Ross Road. I would ask that you look at it, and at the end, I'm going to ask you if it fairly recaptures your power and speeds. Oh, I hope they don't show. Ooh. questions. That is not the police dash cam video, okay? But the question is, does that video accurately depict the route and method of travel of you, Martin, and Haley on the night in question, down Riverdale and on Range Road?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we will be. Did I give it to you already? No. Your Honor, it's going to be admitted into evidence as part of the collective exhibit that we are collecting at this time.
Give us a description of what this is.
It's a video cleared HD videography. I'm actually driving the vehicle with a videographer videotaping this at the speed recording.
I just wasn't sure if that was a dash cam of some sort or.
That was a stabilized HD video machine. So, the record's clear. That is the route taken by Martin, Haley, and you in pursuing TYRE Nichols down Riverdale and then over on
Yes, sir.
Range Road. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What we're doing, sir, is we're taking care of the video stuff first. Sorry. I'm now going to show Mr. Hemphill's body worn camera, and instead of watching it all, because I think it's an hour and 52 minutes, I will be going to, we'll play it, and then I'll hit
Please hit the
pause.
like button.
Okay?
All right.
And I'm only gonna go to that limit we said we're going to, okay? All right, first of all, sir, I'm gonna hit pause so the jury understands what they're looking at. Your body cam is mounted about the middle of your chest, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And is that the view captured by the body cam that was then recorded?
Yes, sir.
And is that the body cam from the night of January 7th as you, Martin, and Haley are pursuing TYRE Nichols?
Yes, sir.
All right. Before I hit play, I want you to look. I don't have a pointer other than my finger. If you look, do you see a speedometer right there?
Yes, sir.
Is that your speedometer?
Yes, sir.
Is your vision good enough to see how fast you're going?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It still don't give nobody permission to beat the hell out of that man.
This is where you're about to make the right-hand turn on the Range Road in America.
How are they justifying it? Trying to justify it.
Can you see how fast you're going right there?
Approximately 60 miles an hour.
Get that toolbar was out of the way. If you want to look at it again, see it's a little bit more than that.
At 60 miles an hour.
Did you testify earlier that as you made the right-hand turn on the reins, Mark and Haley were in front of you,
Yes, sir.
Nichols was in front of them?
Yes, sir.
And did you testify that even at whatever speed that was, 60, 64, whatever it was, all three cars were getting away from you?
Yes, sir.
Does that mean they're going faster than you?
Yes, sir.
I see blue lights flashing. Whose blue lights are those?
That's my blue lights.
Did you activate them?
Yes, sir.
The way MPD body cams are set up, when you activate your blue lights, does your body cam, if it was not already recorded, would it begin recording?
Not with the undercover cars at the time.
Okay. You have to what?
You have to manually hit the button for it to start recording.
Both video and audio, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you got out of the car, did you activate audio on your body worn camera?
Yes, sir.
And if you had not, we would not have audio, is that right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
your car. You just got out of, whose car is that?
Mr. Nichols.
The car just to the left of Tyree Nichols' car is whose car?
Officer Haley's.
If you look just in front of Tyree Nichols' car, you see a tire and a rim of another car. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And whose car is that?
Officer Martin.
You will see a man at the passenger door of Tyree Nichols' car. Who is that?
That is Officer Martin.
Do we see Haley in this clip yet?
Yes, sir, right there on the far left of the car on the left side, by the tail light.
Okay, y'all really don't understand how to think on this, okay? So I hit pause at 20:24:46. Ready? Do you recognize that voice that said, you heard what it said?
Yes, sir.
Whose voice is that?
Officer Haley.
Is that called verbal judo?
Yes, sir.
Trying to stop it at 20:24:58. We heard a voice saying, I'm not.
Every
doing
time he
anything,"
says something,
like that.
it's Officer Haley.
Mr. Nichols.
All there.
And whose voice is that saying, I? Whose voice is that?
I believe that's Mr. Nichols also.
That was at 20:25:01. 20:25:01, using wristwatch time is 8:25, is that right?
Yes, sir.
At 20:25:06, someone said, don't do that. Whose voice is that?
Mr. Nichols.
Whose voice was that said, get on the fucking ground?
That's my voice.
Is that verbal judo?
Yes, sir.
Are you ashamed of that kind of language?
Yes, sir.
Whose voice was that says, I'm going to tase your ass?
It's my voice.
We heard a voice saying, tasing. Whose voice was that?
Martin.
At this time of this arrest, was this a lawful traffic stop?
Yes, sir.
The mission of the Scorpion team, as directed by the Memphis Police Department, was to make traffic stops on infractions which may be minor in order to come into contact with those people that may be taking part in illegal things. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You're not the one that made that policy. Is that right?
Yes, sir, I am not.
By the way, I stopped at 20:25:14. Now, that is the picture of what, sir?
Mr. Nichols.
I stopped at 20:25:22. It appears Mr. Nichols is looking up at you, is that right?
Yes, sir.
What's
Bless
the same
him,
thing?
Lord. Oh my
And
God.
then he's on the ground.
Bless
His
his
left arm is
spirit.
held by someone's arm, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Whose arm is that?
At this time, I don't know.
His on.
Who just said what we just heard?
Officer Haley.
Oh, you want to catch me? I stopped.
Oh wow.
28, I'm sorry, 20:25:28. Starting up again.
Yeah, I can't show that, but oh my God.
25:37.
Officer Haley.
And then what about the statement, y'all really doing a lot? Whose voice is that?
Mr. Nichols.
Y'all really doing a lot.
Complying with the directions of these three officers.
No, sir.
Starting up again.
I'm just trying to go home. Oh Lord. Oh.
Stopped at 20:25:44. Whose voice is that about? Getting on his stomach.
That's my voice.
Did he get on his stomach?
No, sir.
Did he ever get on his stomach?
No, sir.
Oh my God.
At 20:25:47, someone said spraying. Who was that?
I believe it was Martin.
those true statements or not?
Yes, sir.
And how much do you weigh?
About 275.
And how much does, in your approximation, Mr. Martin weigh?
Probably about 250, 270.
And Mr. Haley?
About 250, 270.
You sure you're not just making that up, exaggerating?
Oh yeah, he making it up. He had bid of 300.
Sir.
Starting again in 2025.
He had bid of 300 that.
Was that an attempt to fire a taser?
That was, yes, sir.
And then we saw Mr. Nichols do something. What was Mr. Nichols doing?
Taking off his jacket.
That was at 2025-59.
They was mad because they was out of shape. All that heavy duty running,
26:19 or 8:26 p.m.
heavy duty
I see a
breathing.
figure appears to be walking back towards you. Who is that?
It's Officer Haley.
Haley got ahead of you, is that
He
right?
smoking.
Yes, sir.
2938, we're Rains and Ross.
Race and Ross. This guy just smoked all us. He running like he Jesse Owens.
That right, I stopped at 2026-46. That radio call that you just made, did that go Ridgeway precinct wide or Scorpion only?
Ridgeway station wide.
And when we call a station, that's a precinct, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that includes, what I'm gonna call blue and white cars, smart cars, everybody, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Who's that walking to your left right there?
It's Haley.
And by the way, I've stopped it at 2026.
Out
Haley?
of breath.
Southbound Ross, when we last saw him. What's that? Yes. All right, hang on. Ready? All right, just straight. One of the frogs back.
You take Haley by the arm, it appears I stopped at 2027, 22. You took Haley by the arm. Why did you take Haley by the arm?
He was unable to see because of the pepper spray.
In order to
He was
cross
just
traffic.
running.
And also across the street. Yes, sir.
Started again.
All right, your car's right in front of you. All right, hang on.
Hey
Where's
Tracy.
your water?
I stopped it at 2027-36 to give you a warning, for lack of a better word, to listen to the radio calls that are being made and the car numbers, or, I'm sorry, call numbers that are reporting in, okay?
Okay.
What was your call number that night?
2938.
And do you recall what Justice Smith's call number was?
I believe it was 2931 or 32.
31. And what about Mr. Mills?
I believe it was 2930.
That's right. And your Lieutenant Dwayne Smith was what?
I don't remember.
I would suggest you 2901 because he's a lieutenant, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Negative 2938. Where are my damn glasses?
What were you saying there?
She was asking. I couldn't hear what she was saying. Whatever.
You said something about your glasses.
Oh, thank you. I'm correct. Yeah, couldn't find my glasses.
What
Are they
happened was,
showing the assault? Yeah, I don't.
call out scuffle.
Yeah, I don't show it though. Yeah, this is the other.
Stopped at 2028-18. That's Haley.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Is there pouring water on?
Yes, sir.
Where's Martin?
I believe he's already left the scene to go find Mr. Nichols.
He just what? Just calling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you hear that radio call?
No, sir, I wasn't able to hear it.
All right, listen to it again. So you make the call. And I think I know what it said, but I'm not one testifying. You recognize that voice?
It sounded like Officer Smith.
Asking for what?
For more cars?
I'm sorry, 2028-30 is when that was asked, okay? I'm sorry. Thanks for reminding me.
But I guess. I can't suggest shit, dude. My glasses when you fight me. Negative, we saw him running down Ross. Yeah.
I'll be back. Okay.
Oh, wait, it's 29-33.
33, I believe it's Martin.
What's up? Right eye. Are you ready?
And he was the one who started all of this with the putting on his lights for no reason.
Right eye.
He had not violated any laws.
Is that a police siren?
Yes, sir.
That way.
Who was that?
Smith.
I stopped at 2029-56. Am I Justin Smith sitting over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I gotta find my glasses and get this damn pager downloaded.
That stop says 20, 30, and 30 seconds. Who was that on the radio just then?
Justin Smith.
And what did Justin Smith tell the dispatcher?
Go ahead and start the fire department to this location for chemical agent.
And is that, by saying fire department, they're not gonna put a fire out there? Okay, to provide what?
Medical assistance.
For who?
Anyone that was taken with pepper spray.
Including?
The suspect.
Why would he have to say including? And he said anyone that's been hit with pepper spray. Why did he have to say including?
stopped at 20:31:24. That's 8:31 p.m. Whose voice is that with the description?
Sounds like Officer Mark.
Stopped at 20:31:34. Whose voice is that about not getting far?
Wasn't able to hear it.
Okay. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Whose voice was it?
I don't know.
Okay. I use your E though, right?
Yes, sir.
What was that call about?
Is it true that the
Asking if that you
prosecution?
did hear that I deployed the taser.
Oh yeah,
What-
today. Oh
you just
yeah,
said
earlier
response
today.
was what?
And she knows.
The first part of the day.
Fire department in round.
So did. I'm done. And he ain't lying. He done showed enough.
20:31:45. I saw you.
And if all they got is this, some credit cards and a mushroom,
You hear that call?
shit, they need a refund.
Would it help if you listen to it?
Yeah,
Possibly, yes, sir.
he said all he needed to say. He don't have to drag it out. It's all on film. They talking about, have you ever
Was he asking if K9 was in the area?
had a hard time taking somebody down?
Move on. That was at 20:31.
Is it 4 or 5 people, take 4 or 5 people? Is that normally a sign of drugs? All that type of stuff. None of that. None of them excuses would justify you beating him that way. Why he already down, not giving him medical assistance, all of that. None of that. You didn't render aid.
Whose voice was that?
That sounded like Officer Mark.
Good right now? Can you at least open your eyes?
All right.
He rested his case with straight drop in the Dolph case in 3 days, 4 days, 3-4 days.
Which one?
Hagman don't play games like that.
Right now? Can you at least open your eyes?
Mad because he made y'all work.
It sounded to be Officer Mills.
Moving on, that was at 20:32:44. So that's 8:32 p.m., almost 8:33 p.m. That radio call went out. Go ahead. You recognize that voice?
Sounded like Officer Mills again.
Martin and all them were over there chasing him. Shit, you sprayed me too, but luckily you didn't get my eyes on my eyebrow. Oh, stop his ass.
Okay, before we get to the radio
Who
call,
said that? All the
let's
stumpers
get
ass.
You made a comment there. What was your comment?
That I hope they stopped his ass.
Yep.
Give me a reason to believe that anybody was gonna stomp anybody's ass.
No, sir.
Well, why you say that?
It just from being pissed off at the situation, from being pepper sprayed.
Well, why don't you stomp him?
I'm gonna rewind it 10
Why
seconds.
didn't you stomp him if that's what you wanted?
Call go out
Hey, Willie.
after your statement. Okay?
Yeah. Why didn't you stomp him if you wanted to do it? Why you want them to do your dirty work for you? Marijuana. Yeah, he has seizures too.
Justice Smith.
Oh no, they said they gave him that at the hospital.
More units
More cars.
means what?
We need more officers over here.
Yeah, they're trying to make it be about everything else.
We all know what a drama queen is, right? Somebody who exaggerates the situation.
Right, yes, sir.
Is Justin, based on reputation, is Justin that kind of person?
No, sir.
Did you recognize his voice as being panicked?
Yes, sir.
That is at 20:33:57. 8:33:57.
They stop at that speed limit for other cars to keep a market chase. Sure.
Did Haley give you a direction just then?
Yes, sir.
What?
Stay in the car.
That's at 20:34:31.
Sound like he's defending the officers. Which one? The former officer or their attorney? The one who wanted them to beat his ass?
Justin Smith called across dispatch to have dispatch send more cars.
Yes, sir.
That include Haley.
Yes, sir.
I stopped it at 20:34:47. Start again. Whose voice was that?
Sounded like Justice Smith.
What'd he say?
I wasn't able to understand it.
Did you hear at that time?
I believe he said suspect was still fighting.
That was at 20:34:52.
The officer that stopped him
Yes, sir.
was TYRE.
Did you recognize the voice?
I couldn't hear the voice.
Did you hear what the words were?
Yes, sir.
What did it say?
He gave me a motherfucking hands.
They said that was just a lie. That was a narrative that they threw out about the girlfriend and FedEx. That wasn't true. They put that out there early on. But that was a lie.
The pepper spray is now getting into my lungs and affecting how I breathe more.
Is that common?
Yes, sir.
At some point,
Yeah, he done already. He wasn't tried, I don't think. Was he?
Bad Bob was a training
They
exercise.
fired him though.
Yes, sir.
You recall yours?
Yes, sir.
Was this similar to your Bad Bob training exercise?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cause he put it out. He planted the seed for them to do it. Hold on, somebody. Oh, that foot.
Whose voice was that?
Haley.
What did he say?
He was asking where they were at because he said Ross McCaskey.
Whose voice was that?
It sounded like Middles.
And it was given the location.
Yes, sir.
Whose voice was that?
Justin Smith.
Describe what his voice sounded like to you. hear sirens in the background?
Yes, sir.
Are all the cars from Ridgeway Precinct headed that way?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
And they hear an officer screaming for help over the radio.
Whose voice is that saying, what he said? Whose voice is that?
Here, I'm sure.
Whose voice was that at 203646?
And it sounded to be like Officer Haley.
And what is that vehicle that's pulling up right behind you right now?
A Memphis Fire Department fire truck.
And is that fire truck as a result of Justin Smith's first call?
Yes, sir.
That was at 203647.
4 out of 12, 4 out of 12. Hey, B Money. Sound like Adam 12, don't it? Hey, B Money.
You guys made a radio call out to who?
To the dispatcher.
To do what?
To ask cars at Bear Creek and Castlegate, do I need to send the fire department over there, or are you bringing them back to the fire department?
Because.
Hey,
the suspect is
Kawana.
over at Bear Creek Cascade, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the person you're asking about bringing it over to me, or do I need to send down you? We're talking about the suspect, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I walked away. I missed that.
The suspect, is that right?
Yes, sir.
No, he didn't want to be a part of that.
By the way, these are Memphis Fire Department personnel, but you've been involved in this case now for over 2.5 years. Do you know those firemen's names for the juries? If you don't, just say you don't.
I believe the white firefighter is Robert Long.
Okay, Long. But you're pretty sure of that from your involvement in this case?
Yes, sir.
That's Long, the white one? Okay.
I tased him and it was great. Okay. I think they're fixing to bring him over here because they're further down there when he took off running. I mean, you know I know. Did you come? You got me, yeah, we called you. But you were letting us free. Or was it for the next? It was for the suspect.
Every last one of them failed him. Every last one of them failed him.
He took off running, they just got him. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Believing everything people tell
One
him.
of the prongs didn't hit him with the tasers. I don't know if you guys need to take it out, look at it. I don't even know if it's still on. Yeah.
Failed at their job. I can only imagine how he was feeling at that time, Lord. Whew.
Whose voice is that?
Justin Smith.
Telling you to do what?
To send the fire department down to where they are.
Send those two guys,
Yes, sir.
EMTs, paramedics, whatever they are.
Yes, sir.
see.
I'm trying my best. 20, 38, 47-ish. Okay? All right. So I'm stopping it at 20, 38, 53. At that point, you're telling people down at Bear Creek Cascade that you're sending those EMTs, paramedics down there to them. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Got the attorney's proof.
I don't know what just happened. Hold on. Let me move forward. This is sad. Wait, did they just rest? Did they just end like that? Yeah, they just ended like that. What in the world? Oh, they're getting real time. They're getting real time. And they gonna have to pay real money. Yeah, end it.
Southbound Ross, his voice is that.
It sounded to be Officer Mills.
I'm trying to see if they said something.
44, so that's 8:32 p.m., almost 8:33 p.m. That radio call went out. Go ahead. You recognize that voice?
Sounded like Officer Mills again.
It pulled the AunTeaFee and just ended. Did they pull the AunTeaFee? Hey, sweetness. How you doing? Hey.
All day we're over there chasing them. Shit, you sprayed me too, but luckily you didn't get my eyes on my eyebrow.
Oh, they did a Tracy, they did a me on me.
You made a comment there. What was your comment?
What?
Gave me a reason to believe that anybody was going to stomp anybody's ass.
No, sir.
What do you mean by
It just from being pissed off at the situation, from being pepper sprayed and losing my glasses and angry.
I'm going to rewind it 10 seconds so that you can then hear a radio call go out.
How they gonna do a me on me? How dare they? What?
Luckily you didn't get my eyes on my eyebrow. Oh, let's stop his ass.
Whose voice was that?
That's Justice Smith.
What was he calling for?
For more units.
More units?
More cars.
Means what?
We need more officers over here.
Oh yeah, they dumb.
We all know what a drama queen is, right? Somebody who exaggerates the situation.
Right, yes, sir.
Is Justin, based on reputation, is Justin that kind of person?
No, sir.
recognize his voice as being panicked?
Yes, sir.
That is at 20:33:57.
They ain't even say bye.
They stop at that speed limit call for other cars, it's in the market station. Sure.
Look, girl.
Did Haley give you
Yeah.
direction just then?
Yes, sir.
What?
Something else come up. I'll be here.
That's at 20:34:31.
Yeah, I'll be back with Finesse. Finesse fed 2 times. I'm coming back with Finesse 2 times.
Mr. Smith, call across dispatch. Have dispatch
I
send
told
calls.
T-Sippers
Yes,
a
sir.
long time ago.
Haley,
His ass was going back. He only had 5 months.
47.
He'd have been off paper. And King tricked and Hustle Cartel tricked him out his position. I'll be back. What time is it? By 8. I'll be back. Oh, okay, Tracy.
You at that time?
Why you softly promoting? Support the platform before you put your business out there, baby. Smoothly.
Did you hear what the words were?
Yes, sir.
What did it say?
Give me your motherfucking hands.
Let me go see what you. Celebratory.
Why are you coughing? Spitting?
Oh, okay.
Pepper sprays now.
Oh, it's your birthday.
Affecting how I breathe more.
Is that common?
Yes, sir.
It's your birthday?
At some point, you referred to something called bad Bob.
Didn't we sing to you
Bad Bob
yesterday?
is a training exercise, correct?
Yes, sir.
You recall yours?
Yes, sir.
Was this similar to your bad Bob training exercise?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Continuing on,
okay,
25:03.
it's your birthday. Okay. It's your birthday. Yes, Auntie. Enjoy yourself. Shake a tail, family. Do exactly what I would do at your age. Have a
What was
blast.
that?
And Haley.
What did he say?
Let your hair
He
down.
was asking where they were at, 'cause he said Ross has to be.
Tell the Lord thank you.
His voice was that,
And it sounded like Middles.
and it was giving the location.
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a good one.
Whose voice was that?
Justin Smith.
Describe what his voice sounded like to you making that call.
Very distraught, still fighting.
I'm sorry. I stopped it, by the way, for the record, I stopped it at 20:35 and about 55 seconds. By the way, we hear sirens in the background.
Yes, sir.
Are all the cars from Ridgeway Precinct headed that way?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
Because they hear an officer screaming for help over the radio.
saying, what he said. Whose voice was that?
Let's hear it one more time.
Sure. Whose voice was that at 20, 36, 46?
It sounded to be like Officer Haley.
And what is that vehicle that's pulling up right behind you right now?
And Memphis Fire Department fire truck.
And is that fire truck as a result of Justin Smith's first call?
Yes, sir.
That was at 20, 36, 47.
Please hit the like button.
Made a radio call out to who?
To the dispatcher.
To do what?
To ask cars at Bear Creek, Castlegate, do I need to send the fire department over there, or are you bringing it back to the fire department?
Because the suspect is over at Bear Creek County, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the person you're asking about bringing it over to me or do I need to come down here? We're talking about the suspect, right?
Yes, sir.
Not Haley, not you, but the suspect, is that right?
Yes, sir.
By the way, these are Memphis Fire Department personnel, but you've been involved in this case now for over 2.5 years. Do you know those firemen's names for the juries?
I
If you
believe,
don't, just say you don't.
I believe the white firefighter is Robert Long.
Okay, Long. But you're pretty sure of that from your involvement in this case?
Yes, sir.
That's Long, the white one? Okay.
I tased him and it was great. Okay. I think they was fixing to bring him over here instead of further down there when he took off running. I mean, you know I know. Did you know? You got me, yeah, we call it. But you the one that got screened. Or was it for the patient? It was for the suspect. Now, she didn't like it. No, we were on the ground and I fucking said I sprayed him. She sprayed all of us. He took off running and shot him. Oh, okay. Yeah. Y'all hit those? Well, one of the prongs did hit him with the tasers. I don't know if you guys need to take it out, look at it. You know, I don't even know if it's still out. Yeah. Just to cover our eyes. Just call you guys. Okay. I can see who it is. Yeah, they got him down there. My partner pepper sprayed me and I tased through. Went down through the gate. This fire department needed to come down here or you bring it back down here. Get down here, Hemphill. Bring it down here. All right.
Whose voice is that?
Justin Smith.
Telling you to do what?
To send the fire department down to where they are.
Send those two guys,
Yes, sir.
EMTs, paramedics, wherever they are.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, just go
Hold on.
down a couple streets.
20, 38, 47-ish. Okay. All right. So I'm stopping it at 20, 38, 53. At that point, you're telling people down at Bear Creek Cascade that you're sending those EMTs, paramedics down there to them. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's it.
That'd be a trace proof.
That's it. That's how they ended it. That's how they live. Okay, tea sippers, I'll be back in about an hour and a half with the ladies in them streets. Bye, tea sippers. Please hit the like button on the way out. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, okay, hold on.
Don't talk anymore or let anyone talk to you about the case in your notes and your chairs, and get rest, and we'll see you all back here tomorrow.
Okay, y'all. I'll be back later. Peace out.